So I'm going to show you how to save files, how to persist data in Android. There are three ways to persist data in Android. One is through shared preferences, which is good for, like I said, preferences. One is with a database that Android has full support for, which is SQLite, and the one that I'm going to show you in this video, which is through regular Java files. So first of all, we have a little application here that will record a list of my CDs. So for example, I have The Dark Side of the Moon, I have Tapestry, and I have Help. These are three CDs that I have. This application is very cool. I can track all of my CDs. Now I'm going to close it. I'm going to open it again, and I've lost the list of CDs. That is because I am not persisting the list of CDs. Let's look at the application. There's a text field, there's a text view, an edit text, a button, another another text view, and then there's a last text view here, which is a list, which is the one that's going to hold the list of things. So let's look at the XML for this. In my layout, I just set it all up, but the important parts here are that the edit text where I put the CD, the name of the CD is called CD name. The button that I click is add button and has the onClick function that I'm going to call is add CD. And the last text view, which is 30 lines long, is called the list of CDs. And in my activity, I have on my onCreate method, I create a handle to CD name, to the CD name text edit text, and the list of CDs text view. The idea is that an add CD, which is the method that is called on click of the button, I will store the new CD name as a string. It comes from the CD name. I get the text into string. Then in the list of CDs, I basically set the new text as the new CD plus new line plus whatever was in there before. And I clear the CD name text box. That's what it does. That's the application you saw functioning, but it's not saving anything. So let's do a little bit of a file reading and writing here. I've created now a new function called save CDs that uses this function, open file output. This is an Android function that will actually open a file in a private place where this application can save a file. It will have the file name, the name of the file, and context mode private, indicating that this is a private file. Now this file name is a string, and I have defined it here. String file name is going to be called CD list. So again, open file output needs the name of the file and the mode. In this case, it's going to be private. This opens an object of type file output stream, which is a standard Java object. In that standard Java object, what I do is I will, it's called FOS, right? So I will just write the list of CDs. I'm going to get the text. I'm going to make it into string, and I'm going to make it into a byte array because the file output stream.write function receives a byte array. But this is very easy. Any string, just get the method getBytes, call the method getBytes, and it'll make it into a byte array. And then I close the file output stream. Because it's a file operation, I need a try and catch, and whatever exception I catch, I can log it as a debug, and for whatever reason, you know, I can just make a toast so the user knows that the CD cannot be saved. So this is a little function to save CDs. Now, I can save the CDs, but then when I open the application, I want to read the CDs that I have saved. So I'm going to create a new function too, called getSavedCDs. Again, this is a standard reading with file input streams, right? There's an Android function called openFileInput, and I give it the file name. And remember, this variable is a string. I give it the file name, and this will give me a file input stream, With that, I just use regular Java reading methods for file input string, and I will, because C reads the bytes of each character, I need to cast each of these bytes read into an actual character and append it to the string where I'm accumulating all the strings that I read all the characters that I read one at a time. That's going to go into contents, which is defined up here. And then after I'm done reading, meaning the next character read is a -1, then I'm going to close the file and return the contents. Again, this is standard reading of a file with a file input stream. You can Google this, it's all over the place. Java just reads files like this. If anything happens, I'm just going to throw an exception. So I just have my functions to save this list of CDs and get the saved list of CDs. The next thing that I'm going to do is, well, when I write the CDs, I need to save them somewhere, right? When will I save the CDs? Well, one candidate is I can override the onDestroy method. If you look at the life cycle of an activity, when you close an application, this method onDestroy gets called. So what I'm going to do is whatever onDestroy does, on top of that, I'm just going to call this save CDs function that I just created. That's going to save my CDs. And now the thing is, when I open my application, when I open this application, in this onCreate, I'm going to call the method that actually gets the saved CDs. So I'm going to call it there. What I do is I get a string, get saved CDs will return a string with all the CDs, and then I'm going to set it as text for the list of CDs. So I'm going to scroll slowly over the method so you can take a look at the activity. It's there. That's the onCreate, add CD, and onDestroy. And here, there's the save CDs and get save CDs methods. Whoops. And let's run it. Let's see what happens. The Gradle is running. Again, you can copy the methods, the code. I'll run it in my emulator. One last look at the XML. There's the XML. And let's look at the emulator. Now, oops. Now there was something saved before, but let's look at let's do this. So now I can save CDs, right? So Tapestry, Dark Side of the Moon. There's an error reading file message, but I can save more CDs. So help, five, another CD, a hard day's night, and so on and so forth. The good thing about this one now is that as I am leaving this application, okay, as I'm leaving the application, it'll take a little bit longer to leave because I'm doing stuff, right? But then when I come back to my CD collections, these new things are saved there and they will persist even if my phone's turned off. I can persist data now. You can save files, retrieve files, and do whatever you want with them.